Did a couple of things on eBay. I said I could drink me a beer tonight, man.
And we are live, ladies and
No.
gentlemen. Welcome to the Men of the Metaverse podcast. I'm Beach Dad. This is Lewis from My Life, My Money Media. He's sipping on a blue moon. That's very traditional. You know, he may be a Republican, drinking beers like that. So
A Blue Moon, man. Blue Moon used to be craft. Now they just regular beer now. Right next to the malt liquor.
right.
You know, they regular beer now.
Do you go like deep into that craft beer stuff? Because it's a lot of people making a lot of different beers, and I've had a lot of different ones. My brother recently got married, as you know, and they had like what's the thing, like a ceremony where everybody get to meet and talk before the wedding, whatever that dinner's called. We went to like one of those breweries, I guess you would say, when they had different ones, Carolina this and vanilla cherry something, you know, just a bunch of fancy names. It was good stuff, but a lot of people are into that. Justin said he go often over there, and I was like, dang, this is really nice. They had a fire pit outside, you know. It was no threats of violence. You felt like you could let your kids run around.
Hold on, what you trying to say? I don't wonder what you trying to say with that.
Well, you know, certain areas you can't get too loose. You gotta know what's going on. But like I say, that environment felt safe. I let my daughter run outside with a bunch of strangers. I usually don't do that while we're inside. She was outside with some other kids playing. So
okay.
And at night. So, you know, I'm not one of them parents, right? Like I'm definitely not one of the parents, but I let her do it. We kept checking on her every 10 minutes. Be like, you all right? Yeah, she's like, I'm good.
With me, let's I can tell something Brandon may not know about me.
Okay, go ahead.
Sometimes I used to make craft beer myself. I made gallons and gallons of beer myself 10 years ago.
Okay, what made you do this? Because I think I did kind of remember something like that, like you was doing something. Because I think I saw some supplies, or you talked about something like because you got, this is a lot of stuff like that you got. It's not a lot, but it's
ain't that hard.
But I'm just saying it's some random stuff. Like you have a big pot, or you know, you got some stuff like that. Okay, so go ahead.
About 10 years ago, I said, man, let me start making some craft beer myself. So I made a couple of batches. Then I started to get a little aggressive on it. And I said, let me try to get like 10% alcohol high. The shit ended up blowing up on me, Brandon.
I'm about to ask.
In the kitchen, in the pantry.
How though? So what's the process with that? That's just funny to me. What I know you have to do
it up. That thing couldn't handle the pressure.
Okay, so was it in a pressure cooker? You have to make it in a pressure. Okay, so what is
how you do? Okay, first thing you do, you sterilize everything, right?
Right.
Then you get your pot. Now this is somebody could be in comments. You don't make it like that. I said, well, this is 12 years ago. You get your pot. You put your hops. You put your other stuff in there. You stew it up. Then you put your like yeast and stuff in there. You do it up, and then you pour it like in a bottle. Then you put a little sugar in the bottle.
Okay.
Then you cap it off. No, wait, hold on. I'm wrong, Brandon.
Okay, but how? But I'm saying, we'll go. Go ahead.
You make your pot with the yeast, with the hops, with the stuff, and then you let your pot cool off. I can't remember. You cool it off. Then you pour it in a ferment device. Yes. So it has to sit in there for maybe a few days or a week. And during that process, the yeast eats the sugar and poops out alcohol.
Gotcha.
So in that process, you build up a lot of pressure, a lot of heat. So if your container ain't made for the handle that pressure, it can't explode on it.
Which is funny. So you just chilling in the house and you got something going in the pantry, you say, and just bow.
Nah, I come home. You know, I ain't never that lucky. I come home after working 12 to 15 hours. Then you can open that dose, black grapes and sour stuff all over the kitchen floor.
That's funny.
After it happened 2 times, I quit doing it.
So, well, we don't hope this for you, but if you ever get incarcerated, you'll be able to make Pruno, and you'll be running the cell block in prison.
How you gonna say if I ever get incarcerated?
It's a joke.
Well, that's why I tell Brandon, if I get incarcerated, I said, Brandon, mail me in. I need some yeast. Just go to Food Lion, buy 2 of them packages of yeast and mail it to me.
I got you.
And I anything in prison I can make.
Right. But that's something that they do a lot. I guess is that contraband yeast and fruit, because that's basically what they do. Have it in a bag with some other stuff. I'm not sure how you make Pruno exactly, but
now
would that be contraband?
I don't want to talk like a nerd. I hope they ain't making the yeast themselves. Because yeast is in the air. You breathe it in, and some ladies get too much over things happen.
Right, correct.
But yeast is in the air. But some of the smartest people in the world's in prison.
You're right.
They just messed up and got caught.
Right. Well,
and some of the dumbest people in the world in prison too.
Speaking of yeast and women, Louis, you got any terms down there you want to go over?
How about I'm just started off an introduction so you can make the video while I edit it. No, you started off. Make the video while I edit it look good.
Okay. So Louis, go ahead.
No, you start off with the introduction.
I'm about to get into it. So Louis, we kind of got some terms that I guess you deemed overused in the Black community.
Correct.
Would you say that? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And we kind of went over a couple of them. So we just wanted to keep that trend going, that flow going, and kind of top it off. I think we did about 3. So this is another one: flown out, or flued out. Like a lot of people
spell it right.
Say. Yeah. Well, that's one way to say you were flown out, but you can be flued out. They say that
fly
too.
Out, or just fly out. I don't know the words.
The past tense, past participle, all those. But yeah, so you say people use that too much, and it's a negative thing. Don't you? Shouldn't you be traveling? Isn't traveling always a good thing? Seeing the country.
No. We talking about Black people here. So when I watched a lot of Kendra G, we both know that, right?
Correct.
And when somebody say I want to date somebody who outside the, I guess, regular driving area, outside 2 hours, outside 3 hours. She always asks, are you willing to fly out? Are you willing to pay somebody to fly out?
Right.
Man, but what comes with flying out, that's damn near like somebody about to start tricking or something.
It is, right. Are flights cheap? Is that a cheap thing?
Yes. I recommend, I wish we get it back to the early 2000s, that with people with money, only people who could afford to fly. They got air prices so cheap. Any broke mother sucker can spend $200 and get from Atlanta to California with $200 round trip.
I guess depending on what airline you use. Delta is pretty high. I guess Southwest, they try to say that's the hood airline. And Spirit, I've been on Spirit before too. And
they be on Spirit. They be on Frontier. What's that?
Frontier.
Yeah. $200 round trip. I could go from Atlanta to Los Angeles, $200-something round trip. And I think they need to check up the prices.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Because poor people don't need access to airplanes like that.
And why not?
Brandon, what they gonna get there? They just gonna get arrested. You just go in there to drink alcohol.
Correct.
What or do other
or
stuff.
Maybe they be going to the museum, trying to learn about the culture of the city. No.
Nah. The people who don't read no books, they ain't going to no museum.
Do you go to museum? Because I know that's one thing that I like to do when I travel. I like to go to the museums, or like just look at the art or the history of the cities, because there's always a lot of history in different cities, especially if you go to New Orleans or you go to Miami too. It's a lot of art stuff that's in Miami, the way they built the houses and the structures with the Art Deco stuff.
They go in Miami, they go show the Cocaine Cowboys Museum.
No. Well, I guess you can go into that history too, but
because Miami is fake. if people didn't notice, the whole Miami is fake. It's man-made.
It's a beautiful city though, but yeah, it is. It's built on drugs and illegal money, but it looks great. They allowed them to do it.
What were they doing there? They had to move. Somebody had to move that money somewhere. They said, let's pick Miami. Let's hire the politicians.
Port city, right?
And
pay them off.
And let's pay them off and build all this money under seawater. Don't even make sense.
Why you say that? Why?
Brandon, imagine this. If you've been in a pool before, have you?
I have.
When you stand in the pool, when you look up, you see dry land.
Yes.
But when you look at yourself, you're in the damn water.
Okay.
That's what Miami is. If they didn't have stuff like they'll be in the water.
Correct. I thought you were going to say maybe years down the line, the water is going to start moving towards the land and it's going to wash some of that away. I thought you was going to go
in 70 years, Miami won't even be here.
Right. That's the angle I thought you was going to take.
Yeah, they ain't going to be here.
But you think they thinking about today or tomorrow or down the line? People who built the city.
Oh, people who built the city, they already got their money. They gone.
Right.
They gone. And the people who coming in now, they know in 50 years they got to get all the money. Would you see this word flown out? People will go down there, spend their tax money, spend their PPP money, and the scamming money. Go down there to get butt lifts, tummy tucks, and all that. Those people who go down there to get butt lifts, they may have a little more money than your average Joe. You know why I say that, Brandon?
Why you say that?
Because they didn't have to go out of overseas to get that.
Right, correct. And have you seen the video where there's a bunch of people, I guess they were on a plane back from Miami? Because after you get that procedure, you can't sit down. So they were on the plane on their knees, turning facing the back because you have to sit and recover in a certain position when you get a BBL. So it was a whole plane. Right, that's what I'm saying. But you can't.
There ain't no cosmetic banner from the plane. That's what I do.
Airlines thirsty for that money. If you're gonna pay, they'll put you right in that seat, and you have to. You can sit however you want, clearly. But Brandon, hey, that's the world we're living in.
I may not know this. This may be wrong, but these airlines subsidize. Because how you making money? Fly a person from Atlanta, Georgia to Los Angeles for $214. But I looked it up. That's how much the price was last week for 7 days in advance. One stop.
I don't know how some of that works. It seems like some trips they'll be losing money, some trips they'll be making money, and in the long run, I guess whoever's watching the numbers, it kind of dictates, kind of like the stock market. So they'll raise them up when they need to. They'll lower them when they feel like they can. Because they're competing with other airlines too. So
they ain't competing. They in the same boat. 2008, everything crashed, bailed out.
Right, they were.
The pandemic bailed out. Free money. All these companies got free money.
The cruise ship line.
Well, the cruise ships actually didn't. Because this is how cruise ships do. They ain't based in America. Because if they was, they won't pass inspection.
I think one guy was, because I just listened to ESPN with Dem Lebertard. He was saying his friend. Well, no, I guess I take that back because I'm not sure if his friend was Cuban or in a different country or whatever. But like you say, it may not be. It may not be regulated like this. So
go on a cruise. You ever wonder why no Americans work there? Except for the entertainment. Except for the entertainment.
It's barely that too. We barely be entertainment on there. Do you think we would? But I guess if you could hire me to do a job, I would work on a cruise ship opposed to something else. So it's not that we don't want those jobs. I just don't think we're able to get them, like you say.
No. Here, man, Brandon, now I'm about to hit you to the game. Most people don't talk to the regular people on the cruise. You go to the cruise people, to the people, talk to them what they got going on. They living in bunk beds.
Okay.
They stay on the water for 8 months. They make all their money, $4 an hour, $5 an hour, wherever they're making, because they ain't getting American wages. They getting those Philip Manise wages.
That's interesting. I guess I never thought about that. If that's smart though, that's a smart business model. If that's what they're doing.
Brandon, I said I talked to the people, Brandon. I was there talking to the person.
Okay.
So
but is that legal? But can they?
Yeah, that's legal. That's why they ain't based in America. I told you.
That's wild. That's wild.
They go to India, the Vietnamese, Ukraine, getting on people working for $4 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
They work about 14 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
They stay while you upstairs sleeping nice. They stay at the bottom like 6 to a room.
Right.
They be having crazy sex on their days off. I think they
Correct.
maybe get one day off because that close. They ain't got nothing else to do.
Right. And you're just stuck on a boat.
Yeah. And then they come up, they send all their money, come home with that $2,000. They be balling out.
And imagine if you get sick as an employee when you work it like that. You think you can tell your boss, look, I ain't feeling good today. I'm just gonna take it easy. I'm gonna just lay down for a couple of days. You think they're gonna let you do that?
But they're gonna get you better, Brandon. You ain't feel like that. You ain't those American ways of thinking, Brandon. That's American ways of thinking, or you was born in the 2000s. Okay. So if you was born in the 2000s, you think like that.
If you're not even worried about that. You're just making that bread. So do foreigners do they work better than we do? Is that what you're trying to say? They're stronger than we are. They got a better mindset.
Brandon, when you gotta walk 20 miles to get a loaf of bread and dodge bullets at the same time, or go down to the stream to get some dirty water that you got bored when you get back to the house,
right?
Or all the time you can run lights is when the sun out and the solar panel's working that somebody donated to you,
right?
Of course,
I got you. I just thought go ahead.
And Americans, we ain't that far behind from that.
Yeah, I think we're getting a little lazier, a little softer, but
yeah,
I guess that breaks down flown out and flew out. Do you have any more?
People need to quit flying people out. Oh, any more words?
Mm-hmm. Oh Lord. Submissive. Okay.
Now, why is this so big with black man today? And why do a lot of black women pull out the pistols when they hear this word?
Because I just think that's a agenda that's being pushed to kind of divide us. They're like, girl, well, I'm not gonna blame feminists, but it's a part of it too. It's like you can do whatever a man can do. You don't need to be underneath a man. You don't need to be submissive to a man, even though a lot of that stuff you got service held up. So what are you trying to say?
I was gonna make a video on somehow us Americans, we don't like to service other people anymore.
Yeah.
And if a lot of people call themselves Christians, which I don't, but a lot of people call themselves Christians, but they fail to realize Jesus done a lot of serving, Brandon.
Yeah.
He helped a lot of people. He lifted them up. If their feet were dirty, he washed them.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't afraid to pitch in. He wasn't afraid to lift a hand. And I think service and submission almost goes hand in hand.
Right.
And it's people who don't like to serve others no more. So it'd be hard for them to submit to. And what is submit? What is submit, Brandon? Really,
I think what people are thinking about in a dating sense, they don't want to submit to a man because, it just make you under his control or something like that. And I think that's the message that they're kind of pushing. Like, you don't need to be submissive to a man. You can do whatever you want to do. If he tell you to do something, you don't have to do it, even though, you're supposed to be trying to get in a relationship and marry a man and kind of be his partner and be submissive. And that doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing, like in a bad way. Like you need a head of the house. A man should be the head of the house if that's the faith you going behind. So it's not necessarily a bad thing.
All right, Brandon, can you read that definition?
Yeah, ready to conform to authority or will of others, meekly obedient or passive.
See,
so that basically means listening. But like I say, I just think like it scares people, and that's something that's part of marriage that scares people, being submissive. They think it's like, you're gonna be on your knees begging, and you don't have a say so. But no, a marriage is still a partnership. But you can have a head of household and somebody making the decisions, and somebody making another set of decisions, doing some other stuff.
Well, I can tell you this, Brandon.
What?
If the man only is making decisions, that household's about to be effed up.
Right. Because not every situation needs men leading it, as far as family is concerned. So
No, I didn't say it like that. I'm kind of mean like this. Like, if you don't take the input or the influence from outside people, and you always go your way, it's a chances you won't see things from another perspective.
You're right. And not just go ahead.
Because I'll let you know this. I hate to say, but James Brown said it's a man world, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
When a man talk, it has more weight than when a woman talk. Don't it?
Yeah. And men actually respond differently when they're talking to a man when they're talking to a woman. So it's just a difference in how we communicate with each other. But go ahead.
And I agree. Yes, a man has to respond differently, because this man could pull out a gun or whip his butt.
Right.
That's always on the table.
Yeah, that's true.
A lady could do the same thing, but that's not maybe her first thing to go to.
Right.
I was watching, this kind of off topic. I was watching Neighborhood Wars on A&E.
Mm-hmm.
And a man was driving. He ran off the road and went down into a embankment.
Mm-hmm.
And the car started to catch on fire, and he was knocked down in the car.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of side was bystanders. A lot of bystanders saw what was going on. Who you think who went down this 20 feet abatement with trees, wood, snakes, and everything to pull the guy out?
You would think it would be a man, but you trying to say a woman went down?
No. Who you think? No, you tell me who you think.
I would think a man.
It was all man go down there. And what was the woman? What was the woman doing?
You the bystander woman?
Yeah,
just watching. I guess
they was watching and yelling for help.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of shows not character, but
it's just your societal role. Like if a building is on fire and me and my wife are standing there, like, we're going to look at each other and we know who's going to try to go in there if we're trying to save somebody. If my daughter's in there, we're trying to save her.
Now, your wife is different. The average black woman.
Okay, well, let's do this. Let's do this because it's a simpler one. If me and my wife are standing there, it's a basketball goal and we got a ball and we need somebody to dunk it. Who are we going to go for? We're going to go for me because that's just what I'm able to do. But if we need something else, like, and we're not trying to be sexist, but if we had maybe some medical terms that we needed somebody to go over and read and know the definition for, maybe she would be more equipped to handle that. You know what I'm saying? Does that sound
okay? Okay.
We're trying not to sound too sexist, but you play the role that you're best fit for. You can play any role you want, but the outcome may not be the same.
So why is it a hard time for our black people to understand roles and genders? Well, I know why, but
yeah.
Why?
Well, like I say, I think it's an attack against us. They want to kind of break up the family home. They want. I don't think they want black women to think this way, but it's just kind of making you think like you don't need a family. You don't need nobody to tell you anything. You a boss on your own. You can be independent. You can do bad by yourself. And I'm not blaming black women because it's a lot of black men that need to step up too, but we're never going to get anywhere if we're always divided. We're always fighting. Nobody wants to submit. It's okay to submit. And back to what you were saying about Jesus serving, like we got to get back to serving each other, serving our community.
You know what? I don't even like the word submit. I like the word work together.
Yeah, okay.
Brandon, what happened before we started this live stream? What happened between me and you?
We got on here. We were talking about
before.
Oh, we communicated. Text. We text you, and I asked you, "Did you want to go live?" I sent a link. It didn't work. I sent another link.
Nah, this what happened, people. Brandon surprised me. Talk about
Okay.
I'm about to send the link. I
Mhm.
had no idea it was going on, but I like to do teamwork stuff. I said, yeah, I'm available. I may not be the best, but I'm available.
Mhm.
And me and Brandon came up here to meet one goal. That is teamwork.
Right.
I submitted.
Right.
But but you say how crazy that sound, but no, I was off. I offered my service to work together for one team.
Correct. And if somebody submits, the other person shouldn't be like, yeah, I made Lewis come on and do this do this live stream today, and he always do whatever I tell him to do. No, as if somebody's helping you or where you working together, you don't try to put somebody down. Y'all are lift each other up instead. So I think that's something that people got to remember with submission. People not going to submit to you if your ego is not in check and you don't know what you're doing either. So
You know what I think too? Dude, ladies need to play more sports.
mm-mm.
No, Brandon.
They play no, because you said more sports. I think people need to play.
No, because guys watch sports, so guys watch a lot of. Well, that's kind of, but fuck them. Guys watch sports, so guys watch a lot of people working as a team to accomplish one thing.
Yeah,
I don't know that women do the same thing. I don't know. I don't know they do the same thing. They don't get that fun teamwork fundamental.
I get what you're saying, but they do Girl Scouts. They do cheerleading. That's it. Oh, so that's not. That's not.
Only the pretty ones could do cheerleading, Brandon.
Okay, but that's still one thing that they do, and women do have basketball. They get to see if that's what they want to watch, but they can watch volleyball. I mean, it's a bunch of different sports, but
Brandon, come on now. You know good and well the WNBA. Who's watching the WNBA, Brandon?
So why aren't we watching the WNBA? We like basketball, don't we?
Yeah.
So why are we not covering? Why do ESPN don't cover WNBA?
They do.
They do. I don't see that many. I see some. But I mean, I'm just. You're right.
Yeah, they do. We get to the championships, yeah.
Right. But I'm just saying, we don't know what kind of dynamics going on in the locker room. Like we'll know what LeBron is doing or Ja Morant's doing out the court. I don't really know what the WNBA players are doing or what kind of beefs they got going on with the team. It's just covered differently. And I think it make it more money. But I think if it's covered in a more like interesting way where you get to know about the players and know their beliefs and how they feel about stuff, I think it'll make people more interested because people are nosy. They like drama too. So if it was stuff going on in the NBA, I think they would be concerned. They would tune in.
To watch the WNBA, you really gotta like basketball. That's all I'm saying.
And why is that?
Because it's basketball from the 1960s. All right, that's the style of play. All right, they illegal dunking. Dunking was illegal from 1967 to 1976. You couldn't dunk.
That's funny.
And it was basic fundamentals. So to watch the WNBA, you really gotta like basketball. I don't think people really like basketball, Brandon, like that.
I got you. And I forgot Atlanta has a girls team. I may try to see about taking my daughter to a WNBA basketball game one day.
Why you want to take it to a college girls game? Those exciting.
Yeah, but
they get more hype.
Yeah, it'd be more college students, and it'd be a little different environment. Like like it'd
that's
be
the one. Ain't that the one you want?
For a 7-year-old?
No, Kobe. and then you go to the WNBA, the stands is gonna be empty.
And yeah, that's what I want. I want to be on the floor.
No, she ain't gonna want that.
You're right. That's a good point.
The stands be empty. But if you go to a college girls game, the stands will be full.
You're right. It'd be a different experience. I'd be like, do you want a lot of people in the crowd screaming and yelling for the team to win, or you just want to be almost down on the bottom on the floor seat?
Okay, Brandon, when you go to a game, do you want a lot of people at the game, or you want?
Well, you asking me now? I don't want
now.
Nobody at the game. Me now, I don't want nobody at the game. I just want to watch the game and be close as I could be. I don't want to get out. I want to leave with no traffic.
That is correct. Here's with me. I want a lot of people at the game, but I don't want a lot of people at the concession stand.
Right, that too. Right.
You know, but I like a lot of people at the game because you get the crowd.
That's right. That's true, but you don't know who's gonna be around you either. So you know, like I said,
girls, Brandon, playing them.
That's a good point. But if I go to a college game, well, I don't know. I guess a girls' college team, it won't be that bad. I'm just thinking about the environment, like because what's the schools down here? There's Georgia Tech. It's what's that school?
Man, you need to go to a Gamecock game and you get tickets.
Yeah, let me try to do that one day.
Done Staley, because I think they
them tickets would be, but yeah, they're really playing good. Shout out to Dawn Staley. We actually did a Black History video about her too, so that was awesome.
Undefeated. I don't know when their tournament start, but they're undefeated.
Yeah.
But Brandon, that is a hot word. This is a hot word too.
Mm-hmm.
Alpha. I had a whole video. We'll do this later. We'll do this video later.
Okay. And we had the 30 mark anyway. You want to go ahead and wrap it up?
We go ahead and wrap it up. We ain't recording tomorrow, are we?
No, we're not. You want to record tomorrow? No.
Nah, man, okay. I could do.
Yeah, we'll work on.
I was gonna drink this one beer and watch Zulu. I don't go watch it for 30 minutes because I'll be in the bed on my phone at a certain time anyway. I don't be sleep. But
before we go, did you watch the Chris Rock special? It was on Netflix.
That's my Friday dessert.
Okay, well we'll talk about that Sunday.
Wait, hold on. My Netflix could have went off. No, I probably ain't gonna watch it. I don't got Netflix no more.
Or it might be on, YouTube. Somebody, how they stream it on YouTube anyway. But it was really funny. I watched it the other night.
Damn, he should have came out 2 weeks ago. Right. Yeah, I'll try to find it. I can't watch it, so it'd be all right.
But y'all, thank you for tuning in. If you checked in with us tonight, we're doing a 30-minute show here and there, but we will be doing our 2-hour show on Sunday. Thank you for watching the Men of a Metaverse podcast. I am Brandon. This is Lewis. Like and subscribe. Join some of our social media, all that fun stuff. Lewis, you want to say anything before we get out of here?
No, I don't got nothing.
All right, peace.